Araceli, welcome in. We're doing agent chats. Like people want to know more about you.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming in. I mean, you and I have known each other in the real estate business a long time. How long have you been in real estate?
I've been in real estate for 14 years already.
Holy smokes.
I know.
I didn't think it was that long. I don't do the math anymore because it makes me feel old. When I think little babies like yourself are 14 years in the business. Okay, that's incredible. So you've seen hundreds of transactions, tons of experience. You and I are connected a little bit because we are both some of that OG North Pasco.
Yes.
Like you could trace our roots back to an elementary school out there called Edwin Markham,
Yep.
North Pasco. So I guess my first question for you, so people get to know you, is where do you get your work ethic? Because there's a lot of agents like in the industry that they do a couple deals, they get some checks, they're out at the pool, you see them down at the club. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
But I see you in the office a lot and with a lot of clients and working your tail off. Where does that work ethic come from?
I would say my family. My family is like a big part of it. My dad's a farmer. That's why we grew up North Pasco.
Yep.
So I always feel like the farming mentality is like you always had to do something on the farm, whether it's prepping or taking care of it. And then my mom owned concession stands, so that was pretty cool because I got to see just like a lot more businesses and how easy it was to start a business. And that's what kind of kept me going, and everybody's kind of light, I guess, going to different events and things like that.
You don't even know what you just said. And that was, a lot of people will listen to something like this and they're scared or they think it's really hard to start a business. You were given that gift by your parents where it just rolls off your tongue. Like, I don't even think you knew you said it. You're like, oh, it was awesome because it was so easy to start a business. You're just over here nonchalant, like you could just roll into real estate and be successful. But like you were given that gift by your parents, it sounds like.
Yeah, I feel like even my brothers, it was always kind of like, hey, what business are you going to start? It was kind of always like, what's the next thing? And so I always felt like, all right, I got to look out for like the next thing. And at first I thought I want to go to healthcare. And then I was like, nope, business had my heart. So I went back to business.
Well, I'm glad you decided real estate because we love having you as part of the team. What's your favorite part about the real estate business?
The favorite part, I would say hearing people's stories. I love hearing people's stories. Like, why are you buying a house? Why are you selling? Like, some of them are good stories, and some of them are like, man, I learned a lot from that transaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone has a slightly different reason and a slightly different story there
like
for
where people
sure.
come from too. You know, like I feel like when I first started real estate, it was always like first time home buyers. You know, they're just maybe moving out of dad's house. And as I've grown in the industry, it's like, okay, now moving up buyers, estate sales, short sales, like all that to me is like super cool because every transaction is so different. And I mean, as you know, I'm always coming to you like, hey, how would you handle this?
Yeah, and what's crazy is after 14 years for you and 27 for me, like we're still constantly having those daily conversations about like we're learning stuff, you know, or this is slightly different, and it makes a difference in people's lives for sure.
That's what I like about it, though, is that you're always learning and you're always just learning people's, I don't know, just different things about people.
Well, I think one of the things that's unique about you as well is even though you've been in the business 14 years, you could probably live and exist off of your referral business and those move up buyers, but you still teach first-time home buyer classes. And that's what like I really see, like Dave Ramsey always says, and I think you feel like you have the heart of a teacher. And like you're at those classes. Why should somebody take a first-time home buyer class? Do they need to?
You don't always need to, but I highly, highly suggest it just because that's where you're going to get all your information from somebody in an unbiased source. You know, you're going to get an information from the real estate agent, the lender, the inspector, the insurance agent, you know, things that you should look out for, and things like from our past transactions, like, oh man, you're not going to want to do that. You're definitely want to stay clear from here. Or budgeting is really a big part of our class, which I really like too. I like numbers, so I want to see, you know, what's your goal? What type of house are you going to get? Are you going to get a duplex? Are you going to rent it out? Is this your first house? So yeah, I think, teaching our class really helps the clients kind of put perspective, what's my budget? What type of house am I going to get? What to look out for? And especially things like in Tri-Cities, because you hear so much like on Instagram, TikTok, and it's like, but what really pertains to here, like the Tri-Cities? You know what I mean?
It's funny you're saying that. We just had a whole 30-minute show about that type of stuff on what's on Instagram and TikTok and what's actually happening in the transaction. So, I appreciate you doing that. And I know a lot of people that come through those classes, it truly is a service because a lot of those people aren't even clients of yours. Like they need to take it to get their down payment assistance. So, I mean, you're helping the community at large in that situation, which is awesome.
Yeah, and it's cool because even like if they're almost, let's just say they come for their certificate, it's cool to hear their stories with their agent, their inspector, and like, hey, and they'll even give like heads up guys to the ones of you that have it. So it's kind of cool because we're all learning together too. So it brings us closer together.
That's really cool. So a little tidbit about you. My daughter actually brought this to my attention way back when, you had joined the team, and I was talking to my daughter and she's like, Dad, that new agent that joined your team, not new, but new to the team. She's like, have you seen her boot collection? And I was like, not really. It's not like she brings it to the office. I have no idea what you're talking about. She's like, oh, she's now in my Instagram feed, and you've got to hear about her boots. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So tell me, what has my daughter seen, or what does everybody need to know about? We hear you have a couple pairs of boots.
I love cowboy boots.
Love
cowboy boots.
Obsessed.
Borderline obsessed.
Okay, borderline obsessed. We'll let the audience be the judge of that. What does that mean?
It means I could probably wear a new pair of cowboy boots a day and not wear the same ones.
You're like
the whole year.
Your own personal. I mean, I'm not great at math at times, but that's 365 pairs of boots. Okay.
When you say it like that,
I made my
judgment, man.
No, it's crazy. I made my daughter show me the Instagram post, and I thought she was showing me pictures of Boot Barn. I was like, what in the actual hell? Like, you have like racks of boots.
I would love to open up like a boot store. Like, honestly,
here you
have,
go with
like,
the business again.
Boots.
Well, like you said, it's easy.
I'll think about it. Maybe open up something downstairs.
Oh my gosh, it is really, really cool, and we're fortunate enough. I don't have to see them all. Yeah, I mean, you show up every day in your cowboy boots, ready to work.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Best pair of cowboy boots to wear.
Well, Araceli, thanks for everything you do for the community, and thanks for giving us a chance to get to know you a little bit better and coming on the show today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, guys.